Real Madrid are in a managerial dilemma right now, and they need a new manager. Everybody knows they need a new manager. Carlo Ancelotti was there for a few years, and some set of people believed that he was enjoying the benefit of having very, very good players at his disposal. They sent off Carlo Ancelotti, started a new project with Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso project did not go too well with them. Alvaro Arbeloa is here now, and Real Madrid will be going trophyless again. My name is Adedamola. You're welcome to Score City, where passion meets purpose. And as usual, I have my people here in the studio, Mide and Elizabeth, to discuss Real Madrid and the wahala that they have found themselves in. Mide?
Well, Mourinho has Madrid has not been the Madrid that we know them to be. They have been so off lately. Even in the Champions League, the last 2 years they have not been firing. So I think a good change is needed. And I think it's high time they do something about it to arrest the situation. So we'll get more into it.
Elizabeth, how are you doing? Don't worry, let me ask how you are doing. You are feeling fine right now.
It's
everywhere soft.
I didn't soft, but talking about Madrid, I think it's a good one for them to get that man that brings back the identity into that team. They lack identity. Last season in the Champions League, they got knocked out of the quarterfinal by Arsenal. And then this same season again, they got knocked out of the quarterfinal too by Bayern. And then this is not what we know Madrid to be. They are going trophyless almost the same way they did last season, and then I think it needs to be addressed as well.
Going trophyless back to back in 2 consecutive seasons, I think that is something that is odd and unlike Real Madrid. I want to believe that Don Florentino Perez will be looking at changing a lot of things in that Madrid team now. And one of them is the coaching crew. How do you feel, or what do you think Don Florentino Perez will be feeling right now?
Well, like every other club president or club owner, you'll be looking at the future of the club and be like, what I have right now, is it looking like the team, and it's looking at the election, because presidential election is around the corner and they want to retain power.
I guess, is it for Barcelona or does it apply to Real Madrid? Most times when the presidential election is coming in, the president has to step down and apply as a neutral person.
I think that only applies at Barca. So Real Madrid, they do their thing democratically. Every person will put forward their, in as much the tenure is not up. So what I'm saying is that this is I want to do something that will make him want to have more votes in the next election. So, and there's no other way than to arrest this situation. Let's not forget that Florentino Perez has been Madrid's best and most successful president.
And that was where I was going to. Does he even need to start doing any campaign?
No. See, in politics, let me say politics and football politics in this context, people don't care about what. It's just like Madrid fans. They don't care if you have won the Champions League 3 times for them. If you are not, if you are failing at your job,
they want to win it.
They want to win it. They are entitled and they want it more. So same thing applies at the board level. They are ambitious. They want to get the best out of this, and ultimately, he will not want to give anybody that chance to stake a claim at his current position and at the club.
Elizabeth, let me ask this question before we actually move to the major bone of contention. Should Real Madrid have sacked them? Should they have sacked rather Xabi Alonso when they did?
Well, for everybody, we all know Madrid, the board, the fans, the players, they are impatient set of guys. And that is what is affecting them till now. Why sack Xabi? Because some players feel certain way about it. Now, last week, there was a rumor that there was tension, like a verbal altercation between Cavara and then Arbeloa. That's to tell you how those guys behave, the attitude of the players, the fans, and then the board and everything. It reflects in the way they run Madrid. So for me, there was no need for sacking Alonso. He's doing his job. Yes, give him time. Can they give him time? That's the issue that I always have with Madrid board, the fans and the players.
Elizabeth, was Carlo Ancelotti underrated?
In that place,
or undervalued?
I would not underrated. I think the word should be undervalued, like you mentioned, because you can't underrate Don Carlo Ancelotti. The record speaks for itself. It's there, but they feel like he's not doing enough. And it's still the same issue that we're having
You
with
want
Real
to play
Madrid.
fine football.
I don't understand. This is what you are known for. Get your win, get your trophies any day, anytime. Now, Real Madrid now, come next season, in as much as you be afraid of Madrid, it's now at the bottom of your mind that teams are already going there to that ground and get their win, that get 3 points, get the ultimate result in the Champions League for that matter. So teams are already having that back at the back of my mind, at their mind rather, that if I go to Bernabeu and I approach them in a certain way, there's probability I get results. And you don't do that as a big club. They need to, to be patient and then to get things right.
We have seen Real Madrid do something that is not really popular. I think the only few clubs I have seen do such is Bayern Munich. There was a time Job Aikens was the coach. They brought back Job Aikens and they won the treble. Real Madrid had Carlo Ancelotti that won them the La Decima. They brought him back and they won the Champions League, I think, twice again. So there are rumors, and it's already gaining ground, that the special one, someone whom I respect so much, you understand? Though for most of the time he coached Chelsea, you understand? But I respect his philosophy and what he has done. And let's forget that this season, Mourinho is doing something that is Mourinho-like. He has not lost a game with Benfica this season, though they might end up not winning the title. Real Madrid want to get Mourinho. Mide, would you support Real Madrid going back to their ex-girlfriend?
Well, right now I wouldn't say going back to Mourinho would actually be a bad idea. Though ultimately, because we have to look at what it is. Mourinho coming back for one last dance at Bernabeu would be something that would be reminiscent of what happened in the past, pre-2010. When Barca were on the rise and dominating
the La
Spanish
Liga
football and all of that. They had total grip on Spanish football and all of that. It reflected in their national team. They produced about 7 to 8 players starting 11. So what I'm saying is that when he got to that Madrid, what he did was to instill, to bring back that mentality, that tenacity, that how do I see it? I'm looking for so he was trying to break
the winning mentality.
Exactly. His own job was just to break that monopoly that Barca was doing. And right now it's looking like Barca are trying to replicate that. It as locally on the local front, it has been basically Barca. Or in the last 2 or 3 years since Asifli got there, and Madrid has not done anything locally. So this is an opportunity for Mourinho to, and I think that was even the more reason why Florentino Perez will be proposing this guy, because he knows how to, bring back, look at Benfica this season, like you mentioned, since he got there, they have not lost a game.
Again.
And let's not forget that even in doing so, Benfica, prior to Mourinho coming back, were all over the place. They were not good. They were having issues. They were bad results here and there. And he was called to arrest the situation, and he has been doing a wonderful job. Like you said, they might not actually win the title, but at the same time, they have actually done very well. And especially if not the fact that they faced this same Real Madrid in the Champions League, who by all means have better squad, better money, investment, and all of that. It is expected that Madrid should be beating Benfica. So, and he almost, give them a run of for their money in that time. So ultimately, is that coach Mourinho is that coach that you want to, if you want to bring back almost a dead team. He gives the players the mentality, he wins them, he turns them into beasts, and that was what he did prior to when he got the job in 2010, and he gave them life. But one thing I will say is that for every team, for what he did at Madrid, was he enough for him to take Madrid to the next level and win them the Champions League? It was not enough. But he did what he was hired to do, that to bring Madrid back to life, and he did that with so much aplomb.
Well, we cannot but agree with the fact that Mourinho is a very, very good manager. Yes, he has actually managed Chelsea twice, and both spells actually produced trophies. His first spell at Real Madrid is not without drama. Most especially that 5-0 drubbing by Barcelona.
That one actually.
It was actually, I think that was a turning point for Real Madrid and Mourinho, because considering 5 goals against Barcelona is a no-no in the class.
Of course.
And when you look at his record, he's not really bad. He played one at 78 games and he has one of the best points by game ratio, 2.39, which is a huge one. Better than Ancelotti and everybody that has come after him. The only thing that he didn't win at Real Madrid was the Champions League. He won the Copa del Rey.
He won the La Liga.
And I think he left in that season when he won the La Liga. Probably if he had been given more time, he should have actually won the
Champions
League.
League.
The problem I want to the Champions League. Thank you. The question I want to ask is the kind of players are in Real Madrid now. Can they work with Mourinho?
That's a big question, because if you talk about what Madrid dressing room, what it needs right now is that man that can command with his presence, that man that has that aura, and who has it if not that than José Mourinho. You see, Madrid players, credit to them, credit to what the talent and all of that. Those guys are egoistic. And that is why most times they will come and tell you, you hear in the news that there's an altercation with Xabi Alonso. Some people don't want him. Some people don't, even Abelua, some people don't want him. Some people don't believe in his project and all of that. Even at Chelsea, that is why young boys there can be talking about Liam that they don't understand what he's doing. You cannot say that to a Mourinho. It is not possible. Who be your papa? That Mourinho is that man that can, that can pin down all those egos. And let's not even forget, this is a man that has won it all in terms of trophy as a manager. Down to the Conference League, he has won it. Down to the Europa League, he won it with Manchester United. He's a man that has every trophy you can think of, apart from the World Cup, in football, in his cabinet. So he's that man that can go there and do it. But my problem is that these Madrid players and their ego, can they succumb and submit to a manager? Because it's not as if they don't have the talent. It's not as if they don't know what it takes to win games and go on and all of that. You're not even, as a coach, if you're going to Madrid, you're not doing so much. But can you be able to, to tame down all this ego in the dressing room? I'm not against these players doing whatever they are doing, but I think they need to submit at some point. Managers cannot always dance to your tune. And that is my fear, because Mourinho will not go there and dance to anybody's tune. He would want to play his football. He would want to dominate. He would want to rule as he wants.
Midi, let me ask, is Mourinho past his prime? Because looking at the records there, the last time he won any domestic title, when I say domestic title, I mean domestic league trophy, was with Chelsea in 2015 when he won the English Premier League. He has had other trophies, but that was the last league title. Let me say league title that he won. And I think one biggest problem that Real Madrid are having now is winning the league title. They've actually had more success in Europe than in the league title. In fact, in the last 20 years, I think they've won the Copa del Rey a couple of 2 or 3 times. So one thing they will be looking at is dominating domestically. Can Mourinho, or does he still have that aura to dominate and to get Madrid something big?
You're asking if he still is in his prime, and then I think evidence suggests that yes, that is past his prime. But if you were to, a balanced take for me would be even though he's past his prime, because past his prime in the sense that he's a manager that is reactive in his approach, not progressive, not proactive. Now that is one thing. And football, like we know, the football 10, 15 years ago is not the football we play now. There's positional play, there's high pressing, there's data-driven systems and all of that. Does Mourinho have that? I don't think so. And that point is that the last decade, he has not been able to sustain a certain level of success at elite level. And that is one thing that
is it because he has not been able to sustain success, or because he has not been given the opportunity to actually coach elite teams? The last elite team he coached, elite, should be Chelsea.
Well, I wouldn't say by standard, because this is certain Mourinho, went to Porto and won. Do you get me? What I'm saying is, I'm not saying what I'm the point.
I want to believe that was one-off.
No, it was not a one-off. He showed a steady progression. From Porto to Chelsea. From Chelsea.
If he had stayed at Porto, would they have continued winning the Champions League and big European trophies?
Well, it may, because at that time, football is not, like I said, that is the sticky point for me. That the football back there in those days is not the football that we play now. Do you get me? So to sustain success then, because definitely clubs, not a lot of clubs will be able to blow you out of water. Though they don't have, Porto cannot measure up to the likes of Real Madrid and Chelsea as at that time. But at the same time, once you are known to be a strong
Everything
entity,
just work together for
so
you.
so it will always he has that tactical acumen as at then because of the football that is on display.
of play.
So he is in a way he will find a way around it. Just like he did at every club he managed after Porto. So what my point ultimately will be that yes, he has he can actually organize defenses, make win knockout football, like handling superstars. Yes, he can handle that. And that is one area that I think, but ultimately it's for in the short term, I think he can actually do a job, and that will not mean his prime will be important in this. But a long-term project or long-term solution, I don't think so. That is why I'm looking at his characteristics now, because going forward, if you are to just instill women mentality, bring players, bring back the mentality in the squad, make them a beast, make them strong, will mind and all of that. Yes, Mourinho can do that. Can I get players to play again? But can he sustain it over a long period of time? Like say Carlo Ancelotti, I don't think so.
Elizabeth, let me ask this question.
Yeah.
The fact the discussion about Mourinho being past his prime, is it being past his prime or he has not been given the opportunities? Let me give you a case study. Carlo Ancelotti at a time was actually coaching Everton. Abi?
Yeah.
And everybody in the Premier League was like, hold on, Carlo, coaching Everton. Everton were not even in the top 10 as at then. Though they played some kind of beautiful football. There was this time that they had this, what's the name of this?
James Rodriguez.
James Rodriguez, God bless you. And there are some other, there was Richarlison there too. There were a couple of, let me say, not too bad players there. But he got this call from Real Madrid, and we saw that a coach is as good as the kind of players that he has.
Yes.
So Mourinho giving the right tools at Real Madrid, do you think that he can succeed?
He can succeed because the what they have right now, like I mentioned earlier, is that they have the squad, they have the talent, they have potentials, they have money, they have everything. They just need that driver. Now they just need driver. We go free drive that bus. Now waiting they need be that, and he can do that. Now let's not forget that this man too, when they were that time that they were lacking trophies, that domestic trophy, that was when he came that 2010 down to 2013, and then he won that league 100%, breaking that record.
Yes, 100 points.
100 points, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. So now what they are lacking is that domestic that belief, that La Liga title. That's what they lack right now. Because Barca, whether we like it or not, next season, if they don't get a title winning manager, they might look as if they are going to get it again.
Barca looks like it because Lamine Yamal will get better. Rafael is still there.
He's still there.
There's Pedri, there's Gavi.
You don't even want to mention those La Masia graduates.
So the whole span of Barca right now, they are
still
so
very
young.
They're still there. They can still compete for the next 10 years.
Exactly. If they can do that at their very young now, they can still do it again.
So what Madrid is lacking is title, and who can give them if not Mourinho?
Mourinho, very, very, very good. Now the question I want to ask Mide now is, one thing that has been consistent with Mourinho's managerial career and journey is the fact that there's this 3-year course.
Yeah.
Once Mourinho don't do 3 years, if let's say don't finish in lifespan, it has happened at Chelsea, it has happened at Porto. He didn't spend more than 3 years at Chelsea. He had issues with Abramovich. Even when he came back again, after that 3 years, in the first 2 years, he win something. The third year like this, one big will happen. And it has continued like that. Should Real Madrid be worried about that 3-year course and just probably offer him a 2-year contract, or probably just give him that maximum 3 years? Within 3 years, do whatever you want to do and get out.
Well, I would say Mourinho is not your everyday manager. He's a top manager, a top name, like an household brand.
The special one.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would, in a way, I think it would feel like 2-year contract is a slap on somebody of his pedigree.
How many years contract did
No, it doesn't matter. Even if that is just my opinion. I'm not saying that is the opposite. I'm just saying I feel I look at the contract and be like, no,
what's going on here?
These guys are
not seeing me as a future.
Like you guys are not rating me. How can you be offering a Jose Mourinho 2-year contract? So I think that is what. But I get your point. In a success leading period of in world of football, he had that 3-year window where he gets the first 2
Just be
years.
consistent. Consistent.
There's a pattern. So in the first 2 years, will be brilliant, and the third year,
That's just maybe that. Even at Inter Milan when he won the trouble.
the wheels start to come off in the third year. But at this point, yes, like I said earlier, Mourinho coming back to Madrid for one last dance in 2026 is nothing more than a short fix, and I think that is the reason why he just wants somebody that can actually pull this team, because this team is looking like, you can imagine Real Madrid going against I've forgotten when the Muriqi won that won this equalized through Eder Militao, in the second half around 75th minute, and before you know it, towards the end of the match they lost.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that was against Cafe. Yes, I think it was against.
No, not Getafe. I think Mallorca.
Was it
Yes,
Mallorca?
It's Mallorca.
Yeah,
Yes,
Muriqi
yes.
plays for Mallorca.
Yes.
In that game, you could see, that team is so devoid.
They are not failed to track back.
Like it was so devoid of, it's a team that is looking like this team doesn't have a leader. Do you get me? So it boils down from the manager down to the players. If the manager is not, just like we saw at Chelsea with Liam, when the players are not respecting you, are not showing them that.
And Mourinho is someone that commands respect. He has
Any day, anytime.
every trophy. You may say that he's old takeout.
Yes, but
every trophy
trophy.
that you want to win as a manager,
player
or
on
as
the-
a
on the-
player,
He don't win everything.
he has won everything.
I think
no
Tottenham
player.
is the only place he had gone to that he didn't win anything.
And
I
it
so
was
much
just
believe.
days from playing the
I so
final.
much believe that if he
when
had
they
played
was
that final, he
He would have won
that trophy
it.
for Tottenham.
So-
I don't know what happened to Daniel Levy.
So that was how that is how I see Mourinho. Mourinho is more or less like a short fix, no doubt. He will bring in everything, But where I will start, like you said, in the third year, probably when they start having issues with certain players, because we saw that with when he did that with this guy, I forgot the name now. The captain, I think with Ramos, with Casillas, then that if he had fallouts with all of them.
Yes, he had fallout with almost all the guys, Benzema, Ronaldo, and
So
guys.
the ego thing would actually come to the fore, because Mourinho is
bigger than all these players.
he's
Honestly.
big. No, he's bigger. But one thing that we are always forgetting is that the players back then, they are ruthless players. They are beasts. They don't care. They see air dryer treatment.
I think I want to ask. I think yes, I agree with what you are saying. But for me, in this Real Madrid team, Yoruba will say Talofe Bono Oju Ekun. Is it Vinicius? Or Mbappe?
You see these guys that are calling.
These are the biggest players.
There was a
I
time
think-
when
I think the ones Mourinho will talk to, and he will say that pata. You see, there's something that they call Ororunhunu. I don't know how to translate that. Whatever the people
Mumry
use,
when they inside pig.
you rather go
for
outside to go and express your displeasure than do it in front of Mourinho.
Yes, you can do it.
Mourinho that can substitute you in and also substitute you out.
That is the point I am making. You are still making my point, and that is one of his downfall. You get me? And this is if Xabi Alonso, a younger generation manager, can actually find it difficult to deal with this ego. Imagine
Maybe it is an old man that they need.
no,
Exactly.
an old man. See, what they need is not, if not for anything, I think the X they need now is Ancelotti, hands down.
I don't think Ancelotti is.
No, I'm not saying. I'm
Okay,
not
probably a Klopp. Jurgen Klopp.
The kind of manager that they need now.
the kind of man X, because there's
Okay,
X,
okay.
X how many times?
there's no
I was thinking the kind of manager that I need. That's why I said
no,
Klopp.
the X that I meant, but in terms of manager, because
He has coached them
they
twice.
Madrid has stated almost all the big guys except
Jesus
for
Christ.
Pep
Madrid
Guardiola.
said,
Nah,
if
Odogu.
Madrid are man, they carry
I
plenty
beg, I
girls.
I beg, I don't want to go that one. I don't want to go that area.
Sabi.
So, but the most important thing, what I'm saying is that, for all the managers they have tasted over the years, the best fit for them would have been Carlo, but Carlo is not coming back right now. So the next best, and that was the reason why I think, though, he would do his
So
bit.
Real Madrid have exhausted all their girlfriends. All the available girls.
no,
So all they have
imagine-
to do now is start going back to the ex.
No, that is even for Chelsea now. If they are to say that we want to go, how many managers have not?
Will you
actually-
take Mourinho at Chelsea right now?
Right now, absolutely not, for obvious reasons. For obvious reasons that the players, players are
The
like
players are even there. Like, I didn't even do what Mourinho wants.
no, exactly, like are they ready? We have babies now as players. have babies. People.
So you are supporting that? What Vinicius
I
always saying that
didn't
Chelsea
try any
rather
banter
improve-
now.
No, not. This is.
You just have to be factual. Just have to be.
That's
to be
the truth,
realistic
that's the
and be
truth.
objective.
The truth of the matter is not
But
just
don't
at
you
Chelsea.
think that with a Mourinho there, you see all this blue coach project, he no go agree.
He can't even
He
agree
will
to
not
the-
even
he won't
agree to
even
that
agree to
project,
that
and
project.
he's going
And
to
he's not gonna be a yes
force
man.
them to change that their
He won't,
project.
he won't.
See,
He won't,
if
it won't work.
if ordinarily Luis Enrique that is not even as authoritarian or as demanding
bossy, as
as demanding as Mourinho could actually go there and be like, no, f this, I won't be part of this. If an Enrique can say that to the current
Bluco.
Chelsea board, imagine what Mourinho would be like. So that is just your answer.
I mean, let me ask you this question. Mourinho definitely would have a lot of players that would not want to work with that Real Madrid side. Looking at Mourinho and his antecedents, things he has done before, who do you think Mourinho will be sending out from that Real Madrid team?
Well, in that team, people will call me out for this, but I think the problematic one will be Mbappe. Yeah.
Well, for me, I don't think Mbappe. I think he's that one that is always in the media every week, and not other than Vinicius.
But
Because if you take him out, if you take him out, he gives everybody that room to sit up because they know he's always that one that comes to the media. He doesn't want to sign contract. Under Alonso, it was one of the reasons why Alonso didn't really enjoy his tenure.
Was it Vinicius or Mbappe?
I'm saying Vinicius is always saying there was a time he said he didn't want to sign any contract.
Let me give you a backstory. Do you know that when Barcelona actually defeated Real Madrid in the Super Cup, Xabi Alonso asked his players to give the Barcelona players, and what do they usually call it? This thing where you pass
Guard of honor.
Guard of honor, and Mbappe said no. It was Mbappe that actually started that.
You need
And
to
he asked
see
all the players
Mbappe
that
on the
no.
pitch. I understand. I get what you are saying.
Because this Vinicius
But
Junior,
this
he
guy-
practically
I'm
said that
telling you.
he wasn't going to sign a
only-
contract.
I'm
He
telling
his
you, the
contract
only thing-
if Alonso
The only
will still
time where
remain
you
as
see
the
Vinicius
coach.
actually shouting is only probably anything that has to do with racism.
I see this guy. I think is one player that
Mbappe-
Mourinho
let me tell you.
will play a lot. Will give his
Mbappe
life
left
for Mourinho.
PSG.
I'm telling
Mbappe
you.
left PSG and PSG are where they are right now.
Hmm.
With PSG, PSG never got to the semi-final of the what's it called? I'm not sure if they got to the semi-final. I think they got to the final.
They got to the final.
They got to the final,
Mm-hmm.
but they were able to
The
take it.
Bayern.
Yes,
Bayern-
but
Bayern beat them
apart
in
from that
2020.
Bayern, most of the time they were round of 16 quarter-final and the likes.
Yes,
That's what
yes.
I'm saying.
So what
So,
I'm saying is,
I want to agree that Mbappe is a very, very problematic player.
It's possible, but I believe the kind of player that Vinicius is the kind of that will be loyal to somebody that he respects. Do you get me? I see.
And
Vinicius,
looking at what he was able to achieve with Carlo Ancelotti, I think you have a very
Vinicius
good relationship.
would give his heart, would play
And
his
he's
heart out
relentless.
for Jose Mourinho.
For
Because
Jose Mourinho, yeah.
even when he had that issue with Cristiano, Mourinho was not even throwing under the bus. He was always telling him, he was just advising him on how to manage situation like that. So
If you remember that under Alonso, when Rodrygo was not getting game time, he was angry. And he was expressing it in games. There was a day that he got subbed out. The way he even reacted in that game on the pitch, and I think on the touchline too. That guy
Normally,
for me,
I'm not making.
I'm
the
not
excuse.
saying that. I'm not saying that you should not express your displeasure. But this is a guy that thrives under chaos.
Okay, no problem.
It's controversial to me, in my opinion.
I agree, but I just see
for
differently.
one, all we have discussed is still left to the Real Madrid board and whatever they want to decide. Jose Mourinho has actually been in the media, the news, and everywhere, been heavily linked to Real Madrid. Like we have been calling Real Madrid the house of the exes. Yes. If you have been with Real Madrid before, there's high tendency that you can be called back. Yes, media and Elizabeth, thanks for coming. My name is Adi Damola. Please remember to follow us on all our social media handles. Like I said, thank you for those that have been following us. We have been seeing your follows, your likes, everything on our videos. Thank you very much. We really do appreciate your effort. Continue to like and subscribe. Like our videos, comment and share on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and X. Same thing at Score City NG. Subscribe, like on YouTube at Score City NG. Thanks for watching and see you next time.